Hi, my name is Greg McDade, site engineer for Northstone. We're here on the current strand, or commonly known as the White Rocks Beach, Portrush. Behind me here is the coastal defence scheme that we carried out for Royal Portrush Golf Club. It was basically an extension of the existing revetment, which was about 90 metres long. We extended it by a further 20 metres. The reason for this was to protect the 6th tee of the golf club, where the next big storm had the potential to wash away the sand dunes, undermine the tee box, and it would have been washed away, would have been lost. They employed us to extend the revetment. Basically, we excavated down to firm ground, to formation level. We put in some relatively small basalt. We followed that up with larger basalt, which ranged from 1 tonne to 3 tonne, and then we topped it out with limestone from our Carmine quarry, and that ranged in size from 3 tonne to 6 tonne stone. The sand that we excavated from the beach, we infilled it around the voids, just so that quite a lot of people would clamber over the stones. It was just to avoid anybody having any injuries. The challenges that we had on this scheme would have been, obviously when you're working on a beach, you've got the tide. The tide was the biggest issue that we had. We programmed it in such a way, we had a fairly tight window where the tide was going out in the morning and wasn't coming back in again until the afternoon, which gave us enough time to get our work done on the beach. There were a few mornings that we arrived down where the tide hadn't gone far enough out when we arrived and we had to wait, but it meant that we could work a wee bit later in the afternoon because the tide wasn't coming back in then. The other major condition on this was we had to be out of this scheme by the start of March for nesting season, because there are quite a few nesting birds in the sand dunes. We managed to get the job done before nesting season started. The client were happy and there was as little disruption on the beach as possible. Members of the public were quite curious, but we had no complaints from anyone. In fact, some people were wondering had we actually started the work, because the white rocks that we were using matched the white rocks that were already there. Overall, it turned out a job well done between Northstone and the client. Everyone was happy. Members of the public are also happy because they've got a golf course that is going to remain intact. It's a big driver for the local economy in Portrush. I would just like to pass on my thanks to everyone that was involved in handing over a successful coastal defence scheme for Northstone.